Do, 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 do. Snooze button. Hi, it's the 3 minutes X value. Today's topic is how not to snooze. No more snooze. Da, da, da. No more snooze when your alarm ring. So what do you usually do when your alarm ring? Are you those morning person that when your alarm ring you wake up and straight away get to do your routine, or you're like me? I mean, me in the past, I will actually tell myself I'll get up off bed, then press the button and tell myself, 5 more minutes, just 5 more minutes. Then after that, I'll jump right back into my bed and then cover with blanket, and that cozy bed is so comfortable, and I just sleep for another 5 more minutes. But sometimes I manage to wake up after 5 minutes. It's time to work. Sometimes it's like, I snooze even like 30 minutes. And to my horror, there's some days, very few days, I think it's more than 1 hour, and I was like, fuck. I mean, that's bad. Then after that, I'll quickly get up and rush to prepare and get started. So, how do you actually react when the alarm ring? Then I actually tried telling myself in the past. Actually, I know it's not a good habit, so I actually tell myself, I want to actually change this. Okay, tomorrow I will wake up on time and I won't press the snooze button anymore. But I failed numerous times. So right now, how am I actually doing it? Waking up upon the alarm ring, and actually sometimes waking up even before the alarm ring. So before I go into that, I actually will take action when motivated. I take action when in pleasure or in pain. So what does that mean? So remember when I was like in school days, one of the teacher will actually say, okay, class, I'm gonna give you this homework. If you never do this homework, tomorrow you come to class, you'll just stand on the chair for the entire session. Compared to, let's say, if the teacher says to us that, okay, class, those who if you do your homework, you'll be rewarded with one candy. So which option actually works better? I mean, works better on me. I'll let you guess. You probably guess it. The punishment method. If I don't do this, I'll get punished. I'll get certain pain, which is like standing on the chair, and people say, okay, now it's the 3 minutes. So how do I actually go about doing it? There's actually two, the fast method and the long method, or the more permanent method. The fast method is the option one, which you can just tell, which I did was, I tell myself, okay, if tomorrow I'm snooze the button again, I'll give 2,000 to the charity. This is the fast method, and it works for me for I think a few days. It's because of the if I really, I mean, you have to have the integrity over there. So if I have the fear like, it worked extremely well on the first day. So if I press the snooze button and didn't make it on time, I got to donate 2,000. It's like, wow, that's very painful. So on the long method, there's actually 3 steps to it. So number one, the long method is identify what is actually painful to you. Different people have different levels of pain. I mean, for me, losing that $1,000 is quite painful. So number two is get someone be accountable for what you're going to do. Like for myself, I get a buddy. I actually withdraw out the cash of $1,000 and then pass it to my buddy. Then I tell him what I'm going to do. Okay, if I press the snooze button and go back to sleep, then you take this $1,000 and do whatever you want. So number three is actually to track it, and then set a period. So like I said, the fast method actually works for a few days, but if you want it to be the more permanent, sustainable, and become a habit, recommend you doing a 30 days challenge yourself, and also use this Excel to keep track. And you can use Google Sheet to actually keep track of it daily. Just do a simple one with a date, then after that whether you did it or you never do it. So give this access to your buddy who is, or the person who is going to hold you accountable for. Then after that, for myself, I give myself this, we are not perfect, we are human, so there's a chance of failure. I give myself 3 exceptions within the 30 days. So if I use up all the 3 exceptions, the $1,000 will be forfeited. Or I think an additional one, if I never update, it will be forfeited also. So that's the 3 simple steps. So if you find this useful and you try it out and it works for you, do share your result with me. Okay, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you at the next video. VS and GS.